Santis, and this is The Positive Side on RVN TV. I have another great guest today. I have Roy Innella. He's a financial advisor from the King of Prussia, Pennsylvania area. So I want to welcome you, Roy. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So I wondered if you could just start out by telling us, you are a financial advisor. So if anybody's out there, you want to check out his website. It's at yourwealthadvocate.com, yourwealthadvocate.com. So Roy, I thought maybe you could just start out by telling us just a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I grew up in Wayne, Pennsylvania. Went to local high school there and ended up going to Westchester College. And then early in my career after college, I started a printing company and had that printing company for a little over 10 years. Then in the 90s, decided that the printing business was becoming a little too competitive from a business standpoint, and eventually moved into the financial world. So I've been doing that since actually 2008.
Okay, wow.
So the Wealth Advocate's been in business since 2008.
Now, I looked at your website, and there was a question on there which I thought was good for anyone to think about, no matter how old you are. It says, are you concerned because you feel that you're without a decent retirement plan and need to catch up? It's something that everyone should start thinking about because it creeps up on us, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Especially I work a lot with business owners because I was a business owner and had the same problems. And a lot of business owners start out very frugally and pour every ounce of extra money into their business. And they end up, in their 50s, starting to think about retirement, and they haven't put any money, they haven't set enough away for retirement to maintain their lifestyle. So we do have some strategies that we can use for those types of business owners who are profitable, yet they want to overfund a retirement plan, but they can't because of the tax issues. So we have some tax strategies where we work with their CPA and help them essentially to super fund a retirement plan so it grows very quickly, and then when they're ready to retire, they can actually start taking withdrawals from that in a very tax advantage fashion, in some cases tax-free.
You have a very good website, and I was taking a look at that, and one of the things it says is that you are helping people to overcome tax burdens. Our process is to work in the most legal, moral, and ethical way possible with the help of your CPA or tax advisor. Now, I just want to mention this show is the positive side, and part of that positive side is managing your money properly and in the way that you just said, in the most legal, moral, and ethical way possible. That's great to hear. Trustworthy, that's what I'm thinking in my mind is, that's such an important aspect, is knowing that you're dealing with someone that you trust.
Well, that's probably the hardest obstacle a financial advisor has to overcome. So generally our first engagement with the client is to get them some sort of refund, some sort of financial monies from a tax savings strategy that we've used. So our first engagement, we're usually handing the client a check. So then we can say, well, how are you going to invest that money? What are you going to do with that money? Are you going to use it to buy new equipment, or are you going to use it for your retirement, or
Good questions.
So we have those conversations and move on from there. So it is a very positive experience, as opposed to trying to chase someone, a high net worth individual, and get their account. I never was good at that. So I decided that I was going to try to take a reverse approach, and it's been working out.
Good. Now, can you describe for us, who are your clients for the most part?
typically anyone who needs help in planning their retirement. But ideally, since I was in the business world and I've experienced the problems that business owners have experienced, I like to work with business owners because, you know, it's kind of a camaraderie to a degree, but I can help those individuals with some of these tax strategies, and that really gets the ball rolling. And it is a very positive experience because of that. And you know, I enjoy helping people. It's very gratifying to me.
You can tell. Yeah, I know. Just we had a conversation before the show, and he's telling me about his business. Now we're taping here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. His office is located in King of Prussia.
King of Prussia.
And that's, you know, for the people that are in, you know, the basic, you know, Philadelphia area, that's the King of Prussia Mall. You've probably heard. Aren't you right near there? Yeah,
we're right behind the King of Prussia Mall on American Avenue, 700 American Avenue, which is off of First Avenue. Very, very close proximity to the mall, so we're easy to get to, easy parking, and
yeah,
you know,
that's good.
Yeah, it's a great facility.
Awesome. And I think, did you share with me too that although most of your clients are pretty much from the area, that you do have clients that are outside of the Philadelphia area as well?
Sure. Some of the tax strategies that we use are, you know, you can take nationwide. So, you know, some practices, or maybe even a medical practice or a dental practice or a chiropractor, any professionals, those are primarily the people with the biggest tax issues. So we've had some engagement outside of the area.
Yeah, I remember we were talking a little bit about that. And also you mentioned to me that CPAs happen to be people that you know,
Yes.
businesses that you deal with.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for anybody watching who is a CPA.
We love CPAs because we can actually enhance their practice. The tax strategies that we use are all familiar things that CPAs know about, but they're so busy that they don't often have time to look into these things. And generally what we try to do is to get them to engage their clients with us so we can analyze all of the possibilities where there's a tax savings that is legal, moral, and ethical.
Just like we said at the beginning.
And in probably 95% of the cases that the CPA knows the clients that have these issues because they see the numbers all the time. So we're able to, we actually have some software that we can have the business owner fill out online, which uses artificial intelligence to get us the information we need. And that will give us a report which we use to make recommendations. So it's very efficient.
Sounds it.
And it helps the CPA maintain the client because CPAs, like financial advisors, are becoming a commodity. And you have to differentiate yourself.
Yes.
So I differentiate myself by helping business owners save money through their CPA. The CPA, if they bring me on board, will keep their clients because they're now become a vital asset to the business owner. And you know, there are various ways that we use to help the CPA change their billing methods so that they have a more persistent cash flow as opposed to one that peaks in April and then descends throughout the rest of the year. It's a value-based billing, so it makes the client more sticky.
That's great. And if there's somebody watching, like as I said before, if there is a CPA out there watching, if that person wants to get in touch with you, what would you do? Do you have some type of a consult with them? I know that you mentioned something about that you can do a free consultation with people who want to find out more.
Sure. Anybody who wants to, who thinks they have a client that we could test case, we can run a pro forma, you know, and just test out to see what the savings might be. You know, just to work things in baby steps. I don't like to take, you know, you're taking a chance by dealing with someone new. So, you know, we can provide a free analysis to you know, get the ball rolling. And, you know, that's simply a phone call. And you know, we can have a conversation on how to get that done.
Sounds good. And just to recap, we're with Roy Innella,
The Wealth Advocate.
The Wealth Advocate. yourwealthadvocate.com. So make sure you check that out. And I noticed also on your website, one of the questions it says, do you have any of these issues? One of them says, are you paying too much tax? So for someone who's watching, how would you go about, you know, figuring that? Like, I know you just said that there's ways that you figure out whether they are paying too much tax. What would be maybe some of the steps that you would take after you've discovered that?
Well, we find out about them, what their personal life is like, you know, where the possibilities are for, say, a high net worth individual. There are tax strategies to convey wealth in a legacy fashion. So, you know, they may want to pass on to heirs some of their wealth or most of their wealth. So there are ways to do that. There are certain, if they have say they want to sell a building and they have a very low cost basis, we have a method to defer the taxes on that.
Oh.
You know, so, you know, give us a problem and we'll attack it and find a way. We find we can help about 95% of people who come to us.
It sounds like you're all about solutions, and I think that's part of being the positive side, you know.
Sure, sure. You know, it's very gratifying to be able to help someone who didn't know where to turn because they had a huge tax problem. So we're pretty efficient in being able to solve those issues and then move forward, you know, in planning, legacy planning, estate planning, financial planning, education planning, things like that.
Sounds awesome. Now, we are going to be taking a break. So during this break, make sure you check out, again, his website, yourwealthadvocate.com. We'll be back with Roy Innella. On the positive side on RVN TV with my special guest, Roy Innella. He's from King of Prussia, PA, and he's a financial advisor. The name of his company is The Wealth Advocate, and he's at yourwealthadvocate.com, so be sure to check that out. Now, during the break, we were talking about Roy's special hobby. So in addition to all the great work that he's doing with financial advising, he's also a musician. So tell us about that, Roy.
I've been a drummer all my life. Started when I was 12 years old. And when my first child was born, I had to give it up just to be nice to my family. But now I'm at a point in my life where the kids are grown and out of the house. So back in 2011, I bought my dream kit, drum kit, and started looking for other musicians to play music with. And ended up with a nice group of people that we really enjoy playing together. And so we play, you know, at bars, nightclubs, whatever, or actually also play some private parties, things like that, and do some charity work as well. We recently did a fundraiser for a family where the husband lost his job and the wife had actually terminal cancer, someone from our church.
Okay.
And how that worked out, we had about 400 people at that event.
Excellent.
And you know, we practice every Wednesday night and try to play out on weekends at least once a month.
Now, I believe you told me the name of the band is called American Eon.
American Eon. Our website is americaneon.band.
.band. Okay.
and you'll see a lot of videos of us, and there's some bios about all the musicians in the band. And check us out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
if you
sounds
have a
it.
party and you need a band.
I like to go see them. I will
Yes.
admit I haven't seen them yet, but I would like to do that. And now he also mentioned that they're on YouTube. So check out, it's
Yes.
American E-O-N, American Eon.
American Eon Band. Yeah, there's probably 30 videos on there of some just gigs that we've played around the area.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, we also talked before the show, Roy has been married for, was it 44 years?
44 years this
to
year.
your wife. So tell us a little bit about your family.
Yes. I've known my wife since we were children. Our mothers were friends. We grew up at the same parish. Actually, I was in the same class as her older brother. And then, fast forward 20 years, we ended up working for the same company, and we started dating.
Okay.
And
wow.
that's how we got back together.
Okay.
And got married in '75, and
you
3
have
kids later.
3 children.
Yeah,
yes.
we have 3 children, 2 daughters, a son. I'm very, very blessed.
You're blessed.
Yes.
You are blessed. Now, we'll go back to the topic of your business. So, The Wealth Advocate is the name of the business. He's the president. And now I know that you also have an ebook. Would you like to tell our viewers about the book?
Sure. The ebook is 7 little-known ways to legally beat the IRS. You can download the book for free at go.yourwealthadvocate.com. Actually, right on the home page of the website, there's a description and the ability to put your name in to download the book. And that's what I did was take 7 of the low-hanging fruit tax saving strategies, and they're not always known by business owners, and you can actually implement those strategies yourself if you wanted to, and I tell you how to do it in the book. So it's one way for me to give back, but also I can keep in touch with you once you download the book. And I try to put out tax tips every day on social media.
Oh, good. That's so
Yeah,
helpful to
yeah.
people.
And once a week we do an email blast. So
Good, good. Now, on the website, he has, do you have any of these issues, it says? And I already read paying too much tax. The next one is reduced cash flow, which would go along with any.
Sure.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about that. When someone
Sure.
comes to you and there's that reduced cash flow, what would you be looking
Sure.
at?
If you're a commercial building owner and you're a business owner, there's an often overlooked tax strategy called cost segregation. I'm getting into the weeds a little bit here.
Okay.
But cost segregation is a method of speeding up depreciation expense. So you can look back 20 years to this sped up depreciation and take deductions all in 1 year. What that does is enables the business owner to capture, a large refund right away, and that's one way we can generate cash. So we look for business owners that have a building. Usually the building is in a separate partnership. That's just generally the way it's done in accounting. So it's a windfall to the owner. So they can decide whether they could use it for retirement funding or to invest back into the business as additional cash flow. The options are wide open.
Yeah. Again, I'm speaking with Roy Innella from The Wealth Advocate in King of Prussia, PA, and we were talking about his website. The next thing on the list of do you have any of these issues is no exact plan or strategy. How many people come to you with that situation?
Most of them.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah. Most people usually put their financial affairs on the back burner until it becomes a panic to a degree, or at least in their mind they think it's a panic. So we try to guide them through and create the plan. One of the things that I learned early on in financial planning is that an objective point of view is so powerful when it comes to money.
I'm sure that is true.
People have, this connection to their money so much that they can't make rational decisions all the time. So I started out in the business, I called myself a financial coach, because a lot of it was just talking to people, just helping them through the process of this big change in their life, going from working to retirement. And retirement to me is really work optional, because nowadays baby boomers don't want to think of themselves as retiring.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, it's the truth.
So they're doing other things. They're starting a business. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more to it now than it used to be. It used to be you worked a line job or whatever, you had a retirement, you had a pension. Pensions are going by the wayside, so you've got to rely on your own resources. So we will essentially figure out how this is going to look. And it's an evolving equation. It's constantly in a state of flux, and that's why the coaching. We try to coach them through the process.
Yes. Well, I think that the people that are watching are probably already very intrigued to at least check it out, because, as I said, he's in King of Prussia, PA, but he does deal with people that are beyond those borders of the greater Philadelphia, South Jersey area. So go to yourwealthadvocate.com. Now, I can't believe it, our time is almost over. So, Roy, I wondered if there was anything else that you wanted to tell our viewers before we end?
Just check out the ebook at go.yourwealthadvocate.com. It's a free service we provide. Maybe give you some quick tips on how to save some money on taxes for your business.
Roy, thank you for joining me, and
Thanks
come
for
back
having me.
again to the positive side.
I certainly will.
With Roy Innella, I'm Anne De Santis. We'll see you next time.